Alright, hello. Anyway, another recap episode of this week. Daily vlog. Shouldn't say daily, weekly vlog. Anyway, Monday was about teeth and pacifiers and how pacifiers create crooked teeth or make your mouth all wonky. Which is, I could believe that. You know, they say never to like suck on your thumb. They say all those things kind of like mess with your teeth, anyways. And a lot of people are in agreement. I think one gal mentioned how she has some like dentist family members, and they're not too worried as long as you don't do it too often or have the kids rely on it too much. Yeah, you know. I feel for you parents if you really need the pacifier for all those crying kids. I get it. But isn't it funny how there's always just kind of like a yin and yang to everything, you know? Keeps a kid quiet, gives him crooked teeth. It's like creates a bad habit, shuts him up in the moment. It's like, dang, can't win. But anyway, I wouldn't want to do it, you know? If I could have it my way, natural would be the best. Just let the kid cry it out, or, you know, just not let them suck on things, because it's just not a natural human thing we do. I mean, it reminds me of a friend's little brother who, at the time, when we were all in high school, he was like 15 or something, and he was sucking his thumb, and I'm like, yeah, you know, these are people that aren't his family seeing him suck his thumb when he's taking like a nap or going to bed. And that just sets you up for all kinds of trouble, you know, all kinds of high school trouble. I was judging him in a kind way, which was what kind of, you know, grown kid should be doing that. It's cool when you stop at like 2 or however old. After what, a year you shouldn't be doing it. I don't know. But yeah, so that was Monday. People were mostly in agreement that it just kind of is a bummer. And then Tuesday, I kind of switched it up to a gal named Anjelia Pelay, and it was kind of trippy. Like, you know, she died, and usually when they don't mention what the cause of death is, it's suicide. Um, you know, it could be a bunch of things. Who knows? But usually it's that. Anyway, the thing with her, she was a musician, pretty gal, not too older, you know, not too old, and just gone. And it was trippy because I could relate, you know, it was one of those like few degrees of separation kind of things where like one time I went to go support a friend who like put on the whole performance like as a producer, and she was like one of the gals, and I liked her music, you know, I liked it enough. I thought the music was great. There was a few songs that were really catchy that I thought, hey, these should be on the radio, you know, things that could really grow. And it just goes to show that like that's what people don't understand. They see like these big bands, but they don't realize there's so many smaller. The whole underground world is huge, and like you either grow or you don't. You either stick with it or you fade away. Like it gets too hard. I remember a band. I think they're still a band. They're called Trenchtown. I liked them. You know, I thought they had potential. They were a local band, but they, I think, just couldn't catch, you know, they couldn't do it either. You know, it takes a lot of dedication and hustle. It's like, hey, I'm a band, we're gonna keep producing music to nobody, you know, and like I get it. You know, I'm saying these things to like all of 5 people who watch my stuff, which thank you. And it's like you do it for yourself, you know, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of entertaining myself and hoping that whatever I say is enjoyable to you or you get something out of it. But yeah, and so she died, and I thought that was just sad because it's like it wasn't too long ago that I saw her show, and I was just like, dang, you know, I didn't get to meet her. I didn't, you know, there was nothing like that, but it's just like one of those things where it's like, you know, do one thing, oh yeah, I shook hands with some, you know, guy from the Beatles, you know, Paul McCartney, and even though that'd be cool, it's like, you know, Paul's huge, so like whatever. But like this one was sad because it's like, oh, she's, you know, only her true fans knew about her. And it's like I didn't follow too many people, and she was one of them. And It's like, damn. So it tripped me out. You know, death always trips me out. That stuff always gets to me because it's just like, whew, another, history, another story, another somebody who has something gone, just never to be again. Like, we'll never know her things. We'll never know her secrets, her dark stories, her great stories, her happy stories. There's only so much she could tell. There's only so much I could tell you in these vlogs and all that. And, she can only express herself so many ways in music. And, like, we can't write down everything. We can't express everything. And so that's what makes it super sad when somebody goes, is that you're just like, dang, that's like a lot of like perspective, her world gone. We'll never truly understand how she perceived things, and how, like, the same world that we were in through her point of view. It's just, that's where it gets a little trippy for me. And so then the following day, ironically, I was given an article about people now doing those like holograms of dead musicians and making concerts out of them, and what's the you know efficacy of it. Sounds like a word. Yeah, is it ethic or not? Right. Anyway, and it reminded me of the Black Mirror. Black Mirror did an episode on it where it's like this Miley Cyrus. Just look up Black Mirror Miley Cyrus episode, and that's the one I'm talking about. I think it's called like Andy, Joe, and Mary or whatever, and Ashley. But anyway, and it's just about a musician who goes, into a coma, and then her hologram ends up being the new, face of her brand. And it's like, is that right or wrong? Is that cool or not? And like, there were a lot of people that were against it. I thought it was wrong, and I agree. I think it's super weird. One, I think it's lame. Like, we're already like going, oh yeah, these bands are so awesome, and we treat them like gods. Now we're gonna be so pathetic that we're gonna treat holograms like gods. Oh my god, I get to see Frank Sinatra again. I get to like see his music. It's like, no, some jerk wrote a song and then put Frank Sinatra's voice box over it and then called it an original Frank. No, they might claim that there might be some diary out there and they put together all these words to make, no. And it just comes down to money. It's always money, which makes it gross. If it was all free, that would be another thing. But somebody's making money off of these dead people. What interests me was, I was kind of going off of a related topic, which I was going, okay, how do you guys feel about royalties after a person dies? It's like, should it be just free to the public? Because, I understand royalties 100% when the person's alive, but like all of a sudden their kids are getting the money. And it's like, I also understand your hard work, you want your kids to have a little bit of something. Like, I get that whole side, but at the same time, it's like, you're dead, you get nothing of it. Now, I'm not talking about all of a sudden nobody gets anything. So whoever's alive, whatever band member is still alive, the drummer, like, yeah, then they still get their royalties. I'm just saying, the one person who does die, should they still get royalties, or should it become like a free thing? I think in America, it's like after 70 years or something, it becomes free. That's why, or before the law was implemented or something like that, because there's a lot of music from like the 30s that you can get for free and no one will, testify to it. But I'm just kind of going like, it reminds me of what was that movie about a boy, I think it was called, with Hugh Grant, and he was getting royalties for his dad, and he was a POS. And so it's just like, yeah, that's like the kind of thing. These people didn't do anything. Like, the owners of the James Bond franchise, like, they didn't do anything. They're just keeping their money intact. That's why they're stingy with their James Bond. Like, they just care about the money. It's just the money. It's not about the music. It's not about the writing. It's not even about the art. Like, they might argue it's about the integrity of the art, but like I said, then it should be free. Like, you can police it all you want and have it be for free. Oh, does that change your attitude? Probably. So it's always about the money. So that was like one question I was talking about that was related to like holograms and should we have it? Like, I don't agree. Like, I don't want to see a hologram Tupac. It's boring. It doesn't do me any service. Like, it's not the real him. I feel like he's being, uh, I don't, it's not him. You know what I mean? It's like one thing to see a video of Tupac doing something, then you're like, okay, that was somebody recording him doing something. But when you see like a hologram, you assume it's manipulation no matter what. And so I just feel like all it is a picture of him and nothing else. It wasn't him giving his blessing to do it. It wasn't his words. It wasn't anything, you know? And so it's like, why would I pay money to go see this? Like, no. On the flip side, though, I do understand the advancement of technology, and so it's like do it on an animal, like get Mr. Ed, you know, get that dolphin. What was that dolphin's name? Flipper. And it's like get animal, you know what I mean? Like get them, bring them back. How can we tell if it's the real dolphin or not? Yeah, exactly. That's my joke. But yeah. So that was another topic. Would I want to see this Angelia gal as a hologram? No, that'd be crazy. Like she just died and then all of a sudden she's a hologram. That'd be like morbid. 20 years later, it's like, dang, like how does that family feel? It must be trippy. It's like your daughter in youth, you know, you grew older and your daughter now is like this hologram and she's performing for people and she doesn't exist. So yeah, it's trippy and weird. And I'm for the technology side, but I'm not for, you know, that. I just, because then you know, let's get into cloning. Let's clone people. You know, like all or none. So if you're not against holograms, then let's do some cloning. Let's do some stem cells. Let's do like all that. Stop putting like this BS of you can do one but not the other. Like just one's digital. This is real. One can be turned off. One will be living forever. Like shush. Like it's either all for technology and advancement, or you're just picking and choosing and being a brat. So those were my thoughts on that. Then I jumped, turned topics, and saw one that was about the NBC trying to do a streaming service, and I kind of rolled my eyes, and I'm like, this is getting so out of hand. But I'm taking it as a positive thing. No more. I don't barely watch anything because it's there's just so much out there, and I don't care anymore. Like barely like any of the stories are original or fun or interesting because there's it's just a different little twist on something I've already seen. And so I think one person said a post where it was like, these all these companies need to get together and create like one big thing and then decide on like how that goes about, but like I don't want to keep hopping around. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. Have the government create a streaming service and then house it all or something because it's like all it just gets companies always make it dumb. They always kill it at the end. Somebody started it first and it becomes cool and tolerable, and then everyone jumps on board and it becomes just like exhausting. But like I said, I'm taking it as a positive way. I get to no longer watch TV. I get to enjoy life now. I'm disconnected. So that feels good. Now am I getting rid of it entirely? No. I'm still watching a few things here and there, but definitely a big majority of my time is enjoying life and not staring at a screen. So yeah, that was it. Oh, I jumped. That was today's and yesterday's topic. Was not about the streaming service. It was about, I just did a post that I found and I re-edited it to censor the words. But like anyways, is a picture of the universe, and it was like things we know, things we don't know, and the things we don't know, we don't know. And that was my whole point in general with everything. Like that's the whole point of my page too, is it's like, you come onto my page and you watch it because then you go, okay, what am I gonna get? What's his take on something? What's his version of how he perceives things? That's my whole point. It's things we don't know, we don't know. It's like, I will never, people treat, oh god, this is gonna sound terrible because it makes me seem like I'm a freaking against science or something. But like, I never understood physicists and stuff because they would say brilliant things. Trust me, the Sheldons of the world and all that, and can't think of all of these people's names anymore, so I go to a fictional character. But all these brilliant people, and their information is regarded as fact when it's like, it's like God, where it's like you can't prove or disprove it yet. Like you haven't been through all of the universe. There's just so much craziness that we will never know. Like we don't know, and we definitely don't know in our lifetime. So don't still believe in what you want. I'm all for that. Just don't hate on other people's stuff. If I meet somebody on the street and they're just adamant that frogs are gods, then fine, you know? Flat earthers, fine, you know? Because they really believe in something, and it's really not that silly from other stuff. You know what I mean? Like, why would I crap on a flat earther when a lot of people believe in a God we've never seen? And we have to go off of faith, you know? And it's just like, I get it, you know? And so, uh, who knows? Maybe in the future I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this video because it's like blasphemy, but you know, I'm just trying to be neutral. So anyway, that was all my posts. That was all I talked about. And it was just interesting week. I definitely felt like it was a deep week. You know, anytime you have anything about death and the universe and streaming services, it gets really deep. But yeah, that was everything, and so it just became a crazy thing. That was my recap.